time for a popular horror book, TBR. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zach with Zacks Books, and today on October we are going to be doing popular horror books that I still need to read. So I think last year I did something similar, but I did like classic horror books I still need to read. I had like Frankenstein, Dracula, and a couple other ones. I might have gotten to a few of those, I don't remember 100%. But Frankenstein and Dracula will not be on this list because I already did those last year, and I'm trying to do different stuff this year. If there is a reoccurrence, then I'm sorry. But yeah, I've got 5 books here, and we'll link them down below. Also down below, don't forget to check out the podcast, Bookstagrams, Danielle's channel, all that fun stuff. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And we are so close to 4,000 subscribers. I will say, depending on what day this goes up in October, it might have happened. We are pre-filming, obviously. But I don't know if it has happened. Yay. If it hasn't happened, subscribe. I mean, subscribe anyway. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the books. Alright, the first book up is one that I technically started a year or 2 ago, maybe. I don't remember. Question marks. Mongrels by Stephen Graham Jones. So, I have not read I was about to say a vampire book, a werewolf book before. This is supposed to be werewolf involved. There is one that is being released this month that is already out. By Rachel Harrison, I think it is.
Such sharp teeth.
Yes, and that one is out and is about werewolves, and I am hoping to have that by the time this gets up, but I don't know. But in the meantime, Mongrels, I started this. I mean, that's pretty much all I really know, is that it's like a werewolf story. That's pretty much all I have on this one. I started it. I do not remember almost anything that really happened. Because it was a little while ago. I've read a couple by Stephen Graham Jones. Night of the Mannequins, I thought that was a really good story. I've read a bunch. I've read a couple things by Stephen Graham Jones, but I'm blanking right now. We've done a lot of filming, so. But yeah, the cover looks really cool. I want to say, I don't want to say these are all like super, I want to say they are popular. They are like, you know, a lot of people recommend them. So I would definitely say this is one that I would say I've heard people talk about, and Danielle has too. So if you've read this, I don't know, let me know your thoughts, if it's something you think I would be really, really intrigued with, or if you guys maybe even think it's something worth skipping. But I don't know. Mongrels, Stephen Graham Jones. Alright, next up is one that I believe I have put on TBRs in the past. It's a very, very long book. Swan Song by Robert R. McCammon. This is a beefy book. I have actually really wanted to see what the hardcover looks like of this. I'm yet to actually like find one and see it. I literally can only find paperbacks of this. I don't know if there is a hardcover of this. There probably is. There's always a hardcover or something. Except for Rage. Whatever. Alright, so this book is very big. It's very beefy. By what I can understand with this is it's kind of like... how do I want to describe this? It's equivalent to The Stand, is my understanding. Like, this is Robert R. McCammon's take on The Stand, just like how Chuck Wendig has got The Wanderers. It's kind of like the same type of thing, which you'll see Chuck in a little bit. Okay, so as far as I can recall with this, without it being, you know, equivalent to The Stand, is we're following a girl. Her name is Swan, and I guess there is like this evil entity that is coming after her. This is like a post-apocalyptic, that's a bad hard word for me to say right now, world where like everything's been destroyed. It's like pure chaos, and this is literally, we're trying to follow this girl and like her survival in like after America's like America, in a sense, which is sort of similar to The Stand, but I don't think a plague is what knocks everyone out in this. I think it's like a war or something like that. But otherwise, I am very intrigued with this. Only beef I have with it is the fact that it is pure beef, and it's a long book. So, But yeah, there you have Swan Song by Robert R. McCammon. Alright, next up is American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. I believe I'm saying that right. This book is, I want to say, it's one of the strong books that's in like banned book month or week or whatever. I think that's a thing that just recently happened or is happening. And this book is on that list. As far as I can recall, I don't know if this is a spot on, like, the movie is this book. I'd heard a lot of people say that actually Patrick Bateman is a lot worse in this book than he is in the movie. But this is basically about a gentleman named Patrick Bateman. He works on Wall Street, and basically he's got an alter ego. I think it's broker by day, murderer by night is, I think, like, the big thing people kind of say in this book. He works on Wall Street, like I said, so he's a broker by day, and then at night he takes on this like completely different persona of like being like a murderer and like a psychopath. And pretty much what happens is, I think like his alter ego at night starts like taking over his day life too, and he starts killing during the day, and he just turns into this complete like psychopath. I hear this has got lots of twists. One of the biggest ones I can recall is like, no, I can't even say it. So yeah, disregard that. This is mainly just like a psychological horror. It's like absolutely like messes with your head is what I also hear a lot about with this book. So there you have American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. Alright, next up is I would consider more pure classic horror book. Hell House by Richard Matheson. So this is pure classic haunted house. I think when King had written The Shining, I think he said he got like some ideas from this book. I could be mistaken. But King has got the blurb on the back of those. Hell House is the scariest haunted house novel ever written. It looms over the rest the way the mountains loom over the foothills. So he's claiming that this is like the scariest haunted house book ever to exist. I would definitely like to read this and put that to the test. I know a video that we are going to be filming for Zocktober is haunted house recommendations, and I actually have got a hotel horror recommendation, one that is already out or is going to be out. Again, we're pre-filming. I'm not sure when things are going up, so just watch every video and you'll know what happens. But I definitely would want to read this, that's for sure. I've read two other Richard Matheson books. I've read, what was it? I Am Legend, and I think I only gave that 3 stars, maybe? 3 stars at the most. It might have been 2. I definitely need to reread that, because everybody loves that book, and I did not enjoy it. And Stir of Echoes, and I gave Stir of Echoes, I think, 4 stars. Great movie with Kevin Bacon in it, by the way. Stir of Echoes 2 is not nearly as good. But yeah, I want to read Hell House. If you've read this, let me know your opinions down below without spoiling anything. Also, cover just looks absolutely sick. But yeah, there you have Hell House by Richard Matheson. Alright, last but not least is The Book of Accidents by Chuck Wendig. So, I mentioned Chuck Wendig earlier with Wanderers, and that is a sci-fi book that I want to read that's close to the stand. This book is a haunted house book, and a lot of people read this on the BookTube world. I think this was released in 2020, if I'm not mistaken. It could have been 2021. I don't think it was last year. I think it was 2020. If I'm wrong, don't hate me. But I definitely want to get to this. This cover, looks absolutely stunning. There's a blurb in this. It says, a new masterpiece of literary horror by the New York Times bestselling author of Wanderers, about a family returning to their hometown and to the dark past that haunts them still. It's a beefy book, not as big as Swan Song, but it's definitely one that I want to read. I think I had it on a TBR not that long ago. Question mark? A lot of question marks in this.
I want to read it too.
Yeah, I know Danielle wants to read it. I want to read it. I know Stephen Graham Jones even has a lyric. Has a thing on the back. The dread, the scope, the pacing, the turns. I haven't felt all this so intensely since The Shining. So, yikes. But yeah, I definitely want to read this haunted house book. Seems really interesting. The Book of Accidents by Chuck Wendig. Alright guys, so those are 5 popular horror books that I still need to read. Again, I just want to read all of them. I just want to read almost everything I have, but time is short. But yeah, very exciting stuff. Let me know if any popular horror books that you would recommend to me that you still want, that maybe you want me to read or that you want to read. Let me know in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys in tomorrow's episode of Zocktober. Later.